Now, we shouldn't become puffed up with pride. We shouldn't imagine that reason alone can get us everything we need to know. We should recognize that faith provides a powerful spotlight to illuminate what we would otherwise see only through the darkest glass darkly. But we should not denigrate reason. We should not undervalue reason or think that we can get along without it. Even the interpretation of Scripture itself requires reason. We need to be reasonable in our interpretation of Scripture. We need to observe the principles of reason, of logic, and so forth that are necessary if we're to make sense of any data, including the data that are supplied by sacred Scripture, the data of Revelation. As I've already tried to illustrate, there are some teachings of Scripture, like the teaching on marriage in Genesis 2, that we are almost certainly going to misunderstand unless we bring the resources of reason, the resources of philosophy to bear to figure out what Scripture is in fact telling us, what in fact marriage is, the conjugal union of husband and wife founded on their biological unity, which is made possible by their sexual reproductive complementarity. So the magisterium of the Catholic Church has been very upfront, very forceful in teaching the harmony of faith and reason. Here it's drawing on the long tradition of the Church, going all the way back to the early church fathers. It shows that Christianity, like Judaism, like Islam, is a religious tradition, to be sure, and above all, but is also an intellectual tradition. It's a tradition of reason as well as a tradition of faith, and not one that sees faith, historically at least, that sees faith and reason as separable in anything more than a technical, analytical way.